And you're good to go whenever you're ready.
All right. So this public hearing is being held tonight via Zoom, and it is being recorded for the purpose of a bond in the amount of $480,000. This bond amount will be used to support Article 3 on the 2021 warrant, which reads, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $480,000 gross budget to purchase the land and building located at 459 Daniel Webster Highway, which is considered Avery's Garage, tax map 115, lot 004. Currently owned by the Dalton Avery Revocable Trust for the purpose of relocating the highway department and for future expansion of the town office space, and to authorize the issuance of $480,000 of bonds or notes in accordance with the provisions of the Municipal Finance Act, RSA 33, and to authorize the Board of Selectmen to issue, negotiate, sell, and deliver such bonds or notes and determine the rate of interest thereon and the maturity and other terms thereof, to authorize the Board of Selectmen to apply for, obtain, and accept federal, state, or other aid, if any, which may be available for said project, and to comply with the laws applicable to said project, and to authorize the Board of Selectmen to take any other action or to pass any other vote relative thereto. 3/5 ballot vote is required. The Selectmen and the Budget Committee recommend this appropriation. At this time, we'll open this hearing up to public participation. Is there any questions?
Bill Millett has his hand up. Bill, you gotta unmute.
If you're on your iPad, Bill, it's a little icon in the upper right-hand corner. There you go.
Go. Okay. I thought when I first heard about this, you were buying a public works garage. Lately, I've been hearing that the town office was going to move into the offices in the front of that building. And I guess public works would use the back. So my question is, are you talking about using that building for town office, or are you even considering it? What? I need more information before I can vote yes or no.
Right? No, the purpose of purchasing that building is for the highway department. There is opportunity if in the future we decide to move the town hall, because the town building where Judy and the administration staff is right now, that space is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller for them. So there is a possibility in the future to be able to move those offices down there in the front of that building also. But the primary purpose of that building is for the highway department.
Question is, if it's a highway department and they get moved in there, and believe it or not, they have to have offices and space, they have employees' rooms. All of a sudden, they decide to move the town office there. What do? Just push the public works department in the back and say, sorry, we've been using this room, but we're going to use it for something else now.
No, they would not be pushed
kind of
out.
a strange hookup. I can see the public works garage, but I can't see saying, well, maybe someday we'll move the town office in there. Maybe doesn't usually cut it, but I'll be quiet.
No, it's valid concern, and we appreciate hearing it. Like I said, the purpose of it is for the highway department. If the opportunity down the road, happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
make yourself
the folks
appear
stay
here.
there.
I don't know how to make this work.
I'm sorry. Janet Adams, did you have a question?
Actually, no, Dan does.
Okay, Dan. Sorry, Dan.
It's under her, Zoom's under her name. I just have a simple question. It's just, how large is the parcel there?
5.15 acres.
5.15.
Yep.
That's my question. I just didn't. So 100,000 an acre, not bad for Woodstock. Can I sell my 22 acres for 100,000 each?
Well,
I'll sell it to you.
yeah, that also includes the building, which
I
if we
understand. I understand you.
okay. But just for an FYI, if we were to contract to build it, just the building, in today's prices, it would be about $555,000. And that's without the property, without the site work, or anything else.
No.
Yeah, Bill?
Said 5 and some acres, but how much of that 5 acres is actually usable land and how
A
much
lot of
of it's
people aren't showing it.
swamp or down by the river or something you can't get to?
That also, it does include the driveway and some parking for the racetrack. But I still think it's a little over 4 acres, and it does take it all the way down to the river.
Yeah, there's a joint easement of about an acre.
May I speak, Cheryl?
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Bill Waterhouse. Following up on Bill's question, there is a survey of this property. It's plan number 8361 at the Registry of Deeds. And on that survey, there is a line through all 3 unofficial sections of the land that says top of bank. Didn't quite understand that, so I went to the current tax property card and found that that property is broken out, the 5.15 acres, as 1 acre being improved commercial property with an assessed value of $95,000 just for the land. And the other 4.5 acres are labeled as rear acreage with rolling topography. And the total assessment on those 4.15 acres is $12,500. So it was mentioned in the past couple of meetings that this has been an ongoing process with this property. And as you visited that property, following up on Bill's question, what are those 4.5 acres like that are rolling on a property that seems to be flat? And is there any potential for the town in the future on those properties?
So I have the surveyed plan here. I'm not seeing where on the survey plan it talks about rolling hills. I see where it's outlined the joint easement acre of 1.04, and I can certainly share my screen. Let me
And if you where you are there should be a dashed line. I know the orientation is odd, but from the back side of the building, you'll find a dashed line. And that line, there it is. Oops. The joint easement used area where it is highlighted in a marker.
Yep, right here.
Just above the just, you'll see that dotted line, and you can follow that, and it says top of bank.
Okay.
And the rolling topography comes from the land portion of the tax records for that lot. And my point is to be positive, to be very positive. If you, as the board, elected to act on our best interests and gather the information that this is, in fact, a property that will remedy the environmental issue concerns at the present location of the Highway Department, and as well provide a building that is in good shape, meets the needs, and as Bill Mellett also pointed out, there's room for the town to grow in there, for the Highway Department if they need it. By mentioning other items, such as the sale of the fire station, the sale of the Highway Department site, the rental of storage units there, this appears to be clouding the matter. You're asking for $480,000 to buy a highway garage that all seem to agree is in need, and this is more than adequate for today and even into the future. But it's being clouded by the fact that you'd like to sell a property to bring down the price that may not be even able to be sold. The town may have to give it back to the heirs of the person that sold it to the town. And the Highway Department site, if you click on the overlay for Public Works, you will see that from the north and west, there are two sewer lines each coming in, so 4 sewer lines coming into that property, and 1 line heading out to the south, which again would seem that there would have to be easements drawn up so the town could access it. And as far as the realization of rental properties, would you even be able to realize what you're losing off the tax rolls in taxes? My point then in closing is just that if we're focusing on the building and buying the building, why cloud it with these other issues? If it's what we need, you folks have our trust and confidence, then just do that, and don't bring about reasons for discontent and finger pointing next year if the properties don't sell or something else does not come through. If this is what the town needs, then let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Waterhouse.
Well, the selling of those other 2 properties is separate from buying this particular piece of property. We're not trying to cloud anything. As far as the sewer issues, Bill could probably expand on that as to the issues down by the present Highway Department and what we would have to do in their location. And he could certainly help us, I think, with that information. I can't hear Bill.
Okay, I guess I gotta speak up.
There you go.
There you go. Yes, Bill Waterhouse brought up the sewer issue down at the town garage by the river. And he's right, there's 4 main lines come into that property, 1 goes out. And every sewer line that the town owns needs an easement, probably 15 feet on either side minimum. And down there, it's so deep, we probably have to have a little more. And the garages sits in the easement, if not over the sewer line. So it, for the town to own it, it's worked since we built the blooming thing. But for somebody else to own it on top of those sewers wouldn't make any sense at all. To sell that property to somebody and then within 5 years, they'd be building on top of the sewer, and you think the lawyer fee is high now, it would be even higher because they couldn't do it. And they say, well, you didn't tell us that. And there's also some other problems with water lines and sewer lines from the private properties up on the hill that go down across that land. And so I just, when the time come, I was gonna talk about that, but I guess to me, it doesn't make any sense to think you're gonna peddle that piece of property to anybody and then have all the problems. You've got 4 sewer lines there. The main line, all the sewer from the town goes down that driveway. And to have anybody else in the way, if it had to be repaired, right now, you just go do what you gotta do. And to sell it and think you're gonna, well, somebody said, we'll get it back on the tax rolls. Well, it never was on the tax rolls, so you're not gonna gain anything that way. But it just is not a piece of property anybody would want. It's river frontage, and that would maybe could make a little park or something. That might be something the town could do. But to sell that property to somebody for, I don't know, you must have got it appraised, but I'll tell you right now, it ain't worth a nickel. Might be worth something to town, but it ain't worth a nickel to anybody else.
Thank you, Bill.
May I respond to Gil?
Yes, go ahead, Bill. Waterhouse.
Gil, the point I was making with the clouding was at the February 10th meeting, it was, my notes show that the bond would be $36,687 a year with an impact of 13 cents per $1,000. But if we sold the fire station for $85,000 and the town garage for $135,000, then the town would only be looking at $220,000. If
That's
it's
right. That's what we had.
$80,000, then go for the $480,000, because the first thing that comes to mind, how much off of those $280,000 are going to go to real estate commissions. So if the building's going to cost a certain amount of money, don't cloud it and make it look brighter than it might actually end up being. If it's what you need, it meets the circumstances, and there are diminishing suitable sites in town, let's just address the warrant article. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Bill.
To
And
my
that's-
thinking, Bill, that was exactly what, one, the bond wasn't contingent on what we were gonna do with those other 2 spaces. The bond was just, yeah, let's take care of securing the building, which is needed, and down the line, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the other stuff. But it's nice now to know, what the pitfalls are, for sure. But yes, the bond, to my thinking, was always just about securing the building for the future.
Right. The 480,000.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Mellon.
Well, that is true that it's 480,000, but at the last hearing, we heard a lot about all of the income we were going to get from selling those 2 buildings. And rental property down there and so forth. So it would reduce that bond considerably. So the last hearing, that's what we heard. So Bill isn't just dreaming that up. Now you say it isn't being considered. Well, if you read the articles that you've probably still got on the warrant, they talk about putting that money toward the fire station, or toward not the fire station, but toward the public works place. So
Yeah.
you kind of,
I could see where it would be a little bit confusing. I could see that.
Is there any other questions? Well, being that there's no more questions or comments, I guess we will entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
And second. All those in favor?
Me and you.
Yep.
Oh,
And
Do
Connie,
you have a, Connie,
you,
do you have a
Connie.
question? No, you're just saying thank you and goodbye? Okay. Very good. Well, thank you all for
All right.
coming out this evening, and thank you, Bill Waterhouse and Mr. Mellett for, and Mr. Adams for commenting and bringing up some good questions. We appreciate it. At this time, we'll close out the meeting. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Good night. Nobody is.